Schedule it during work hours. Gen Z worker skips 9 p.m. meeting, says important discussions belong in office hours. This goes perfectly with the discussions that we have been having about boundaries. This was put out by the Economic Times. Let's look at this caption right there. It says, if it was important, then the meeting should have been kept during the office hours. I logged off at 6 p.m. Obviously, some generalizations between generations. The younger crowd right now, they are not doing that whole hustle culture. They're not sitting up here doing everything and going above and beyond for these companies because they see how they are not really valued as workers. They're seeing how these companies just do these mass layoffs. They're seeing that they're not really going to get ahead in these companies. So why give their all when they can be cut at any particular moment? We're also seeing these people have a spine and stand up for themselves and have boundaries. Synopsis: a young employee declined a 9 p.m. meeting, citing work life balance. She argued important discussions belong in office hours. Her manager noted others attended, but she stated they were already burnt out. This incident highlights a generational shift in workplace expectations. Professionals are discussing the importance of setting boundaries to prevent burnout and maintain long term productivity. I am 45 years old. I remember having these discussions about work life balance when I was coming fresh out of college. We're still having these conversations now, but I do believe that we have got to have the discussions about boundaries, not taking on more that we're not getting paid for, working outside of office hours, shutting off the phones the work phones, not answering emails that are work related because those boundaries, people start pushing to the point where you got a 9 p.m. meeting and you clocked out at 6 o'clock. And then you ask for money for that meeting or something like that, and they don't want to pay you. So, yes, we got to keep on talking about boundaries. All right, let's get into this. It says a LinkedIn post about a Gen Z employee declining to attend a 9 p.m. meeting has triggered widespread discussion on workplace expectations, work-life balance, and employee availability beyond official working hours. Shared by Sanchit Goyal, the post recounted how a young employee refused to join a late night meeting, arguing that if the discussion was genuinely important, it should have been scheduled during office hours. Employee cites work-life balance concerns. According to Goyal, the employee was invited by her manager to attend a 9 p.m. meeting. When informed that the discussion was important, she reportedly responded that important meetings should take place during regular working hours. The manager noted that the other team members had joined the call. In response, the employee reportedly said those colleagues were already experiencing burnout and that she did not want to reach the same stage. When the meeting was described as just one meeting, she disagreed, stating that burnout often begins with small exceptions that gradually become normalized. The employee logged off at 6 p.m. and did not participate in the meeting. Sharing the incident, Goyal wrote that it is better to establish boundaries before burnout occurs rather than after. Post resonates with professionals. The post struck a chord with many professionals who have experienced work extending beyond official hours. Several users viewed the employee's response as reflective of a growing preference among younger workers to maintain a healthier balance between professional and personal life. Many commenters argued that setting limits on after-hours work can help prevent exhaustion and support long-term productivity. Mixed reactions online. The incident generated a range of opinions from LinkedIn users. One commenter said healthy boundaries help prevent burnout, while employee ownership drives results. The user added that the best workplaces are those where after-hours work remains an exception rather than an expectation where both employees and leaders respect each other's time. Another commenter agreed on the importance of boundaries, but argued that the manner in which they are communicated also matters. The user said there is a fine line between protecting personal well-being and appearing unsupportive to management. Several users strongly backed the employee's decision. One commenter described the response of asking for important meetings to be scheduled during work hours as simple, but unusually bold in some workplace environments. Another user said healthy boundaries should not be viewed as a lack of commitment and can contribute to sustainable long term performance. Debate over career impact and workplace culture. Not everyone supported the employee stance. One commenter suggested the decision could affect future promotion prospects, describing it as a short term win that may carry long term career consequences. Others viewed the incident as evidence of a broader cultural shift in modern workplaces. Some users argued that Gen Z employees are reshaping workplace norms and expectations regarding personal time and professional commitments. The discussion has reignited debate over whether employees should remain available after working hours or whether disconnecting on time is the most effective way to avoid burnout. Some of these companies attempt to extract as much labor from people as possible without paying for them. And so the people that stand up for themselves and only do the work that they are assigned and paid for within the hours of their shift are seen as pushing back against this culture. But it is normalized that these companies can take and take and take, especially in an economy where job insecurity is a thing. But many of these young people of right now, know that the money that they make is not enough to support a family. They know that their dollar doesn't go as far. They know that they're probably not going to be able to afford, no, not even probably. They know that they're not going to be able to afford what their grandparents afforded. We know good and well that the American dream isn't possible for most people under the age of 40. And so that hustle culture, that culture where you just go above and beyond for your company, none of that matters right now, and many young people know it. So why even act like you're going to give your personal time for a company that will axe you, that will do mass layoffs, that are telling everybody that AI is taking your jobs? Why go above and beyond for them and they barely want to pay you? This comment right here, it says the user said there is a fine line between protecting personal well-being and appearing unsupportive to management. No matter when you have a boundary, no matter when you say no, you can say it as nicely as possible. You can put some emojis behind it. You can spray some perfume behind it. It doesn't matter. Lots of people do not like the word no. They don't like to hear no in personal, like romantic relationships, between family, at work. They don't like to hear the word no. So there's no way to say it without upsetting somebody, because many of these organizations expect you to bend to their will. And even if that you're not getting paid, even if you have something else going on, they expect that your life is going to be attached to this company. Whereas many people are getting that money now and they're using it to live rather than act like their job is their life. Earlier today, I did this Reddit post where this woman put up some boundaries. A male colleague asked her to do some of his work and she said no. She said no at work to this man. And this was one of the comments, because no matter if you are saying no to a man in any capacity, having boundaries is like, oh my God, what? Or if you say no to your job in any capacity, they're going to have the same response because they don't like women saying no. But this comment came out of it and I wanted to share it. This comment from World Adventure Travel is speaking specifically to women, but I still wanted to share it here because it is about boundaries. She says, corporate culture is a real holdout for patriarchy hiding behind HR speak. I hope that women encountering this behavior are safe responding to the accusation of an intimidating tone. Would you feel intimidated if it were a man saying what I just said? Then look directly at them and remain silent. We have to break their behavior everywhere it hides. Anybody that is pushing past boundaries or attempting to, they're going to continue to do it with baby steps or even just bulldoze. You have got to nip it in the bud early. Got ex-led tragedy saying, I've been told off from HR for my tone at 2 different workplaces. I printed out the emails and asked if they could advise which language I should change and what I should say instead, and neither could. They just sputtered and said never mind and couldn't write me up. Know the rules of your company. Know and understand what your work hours are. If somebody is trying to push past your boundaries, say, these are the things that I get paid for doing. These are the times that I get paid to work. If you want to adjust that, please let me know based on how I get paid and for what hours, and then we can adjust things. When you say it, and you have to use this HR speak, make sure you get it in writing and then ask them what precisely you need to change or how they can work it out to where you're getting paid. Many of these companies do not want to pay people better. They don't want to treat people better. So get things in writing. And y'all go ahead and chime in and let me know what else we can talk about as far as boundaries go, HR speak, knowing how to hold your boundaries. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.